Archdruid Zello Raid Walkthrough. Hello everyone, it's great to see you again. Today, I'm bringing you a comprehensive raid walkthrough for the 5th boss in Root of Corrosion, Archdruid Zello. As the ultimate boss of Root of Corrosion, this boss poses a massive challenge with virtually no room for error. To avoid any pitfalls during your raid, we've compiled detailed strategies covering team formation, dungeon characteristics, and boss mechanics. Let's dive in and conquer this challenge together. Team formation. The following configuration and recommendations are based on elite difficulty. 2 healers, 2 tanks, 6 DPS. Elite difficulty requirements: equipment level greater than or equal to 97, hit greater than or equal to 315. Specific class assignments: healers, Divine Grace Priest, mandatory, high healing, damage reduction buff, plus soul healing Phantom Necro. Alternative class, Harmony Bard. Tanks, Frozen Barbarian Fighter, mandatory, team buffs, plus guarding Paladin. Alternative class, Warshield Warrior. DPS, Flame Mage, mandatory, high burst damage, plus Wrathful Warrior plus Cunning Shadow Swordsman, mandatory. Plus Thunder Barbarian Fighter, mandatory, team buffs, plus Solo Bard plus Hunting Ranger. Recommended ultimate, universal for all classes. Flash, Displace, plus Interrupt, mandatory. Tanks, Single Target Taunt, AoE Taunt. DPS, Knockback, mandatory. Healers, Single Target Disperse, mandatory. Dungeon characteristics. Once the battle begins, if it exceeds 5 minutes, Zello will go berserk. In the middle of the fight, the dungeon will split into 2 maps, inner and outer, that require 2 teams to attack separately. Dungeon walkthrough. Upon entering the dungeon, you'll face the Phase 1 boss. In this phase, Zello will cast the following skill combo in sequence against players: Bear Claws, then Healing Spell, then Wild Roar, then Root Entangle, then Summon Clone, then Starfall, then Random Skill, then Recovery Seeds. In Phase 2, Zello will cast the following skill combo in sequence against players: Bear Claws Enhancement, then Decaying Invasion, then Wild Roar Enhancement, then Decaying Invasion, then Recovery Seeds Enhancement, then Wild Roar Enhancement, then Decaying Invasion, then Starfall Enhancement, then Summon Clone, then Decaying Invasion. The above skill combo is not fixed. It is just the most probable combo you'll encounter. Special Mechanic 1, Apprentice's Blessing. Before the round starts, summons 3 apprentices, each granting a unique effect. Recovery Apprentice, reduces decay points regularly. Son of the Nature, reduces damage dealt by the decaying monstrosity. Wild Sun, extends the channeling time and recovery effect of Zello's healing spell, and reduces Recovery Seed's movement speed. Since decaying monstrosity deals high damage, and can only be defeated by a single team, choosing the Son of the Nature is recommended. Special Mechanic 2, Decaying Explosion. After performing the first skill combo in Phase 1, a teleportation circle appears, activating the Decaying Explosion quest. Players need to assign 5 members to enter the inner field, and defeat the decaying monstrosity within 40 seconds. Upon defeating the decaying monstrosity, minions will spawn. The tank should then gather and eliminate the minions, while the healers focus on healing the heart of the ancestral tree located in the center of the field. Note: before defeating the decaying monstrosity, the heart of the ancestral tree cannot be healed. At the end of the duration, players in the inner field will be teleported back. Then, the teleportation circle refreshes, allowing a new team to enter. The teleportation circle refreshes 3 times in total. It is crucial to fully restore the HP of Heart of the Ancestral Tree within these 3 attempts, thus activating the protective shield against decaying invasion. After entering the inner field, the outer field will be eroded by Zello to 50%. Please stay away from the eroded areas, and lure Zello towards the center of the field. His will ease the transition for players teleported out of the inner field. After 3 entries, Zello enters Phase 2. Skill Analysis. Phase 1, Bear Claws. After charging, deals damage in a fan-shaped area ahead, increasing decay points for hit players. Dodge the damage range. Healing Spell. After a few seconds of channeling, Zello restores a large amount of HP. It's imperative to interrupt this process. Wild Roar. Zello deals damage to all players. Healers should activate Damage Reduct to increase the allies' HP. Root Entangle. Zello targets a random character, immobilizing the target permanently and increasing their decay points. This skill can be removed with Disperse. Summon Clone. Zello summons 4 clones, 3 of which create red circles, dealing massive damage to all players and increasing decay points. When the skill is cast, players should seek the green circle clone for protection. Starfall. After channeling, Zello summons a meteor, dealing delayed AoE damage, and increasing decay points. This skill is often triggered along with the subsequent damage from summoned clones. Players should seek the green circle for protection and then maneuver to evade the skill's damage. Once the skill ends, Zello casts a random skill. If it's a damage skill, players should disperse and evade immediately. Recovery Seeds. Zello summons flower seeds approaching from 4 directions, restoring HP once they touch Zello. It's crucial to target and eliminate these seeds immediately upon their appearance. If you don't kill them fast enough, players with knockback should cast skills to block their path. Phase 2. Bear Claws Enhancement. Same as Phase 1, doubles the range and increases damage. Healing Spell. Same as Phase 1, speeds up channeling and increases the recovery effect. Wild Roar Enhancement. Same as Phase 1. After casting the skill, Zello summons a minion under each player's feet. It's imperative for the tank to taunt and gather them for an efficient cleanup. Recovery Seeds Enhancement. Same as Phase 1. The enhanced seeds boast higher HP, and deal devastating AoE explosion damage after being killed. It is not recommended to engage them all at once, as the high explosion damage can quickly wipe out your entire team. Instead, prioritize taking out 1 to 2 key targets, and use knockback to keep the rest under control. Starfall Enhancement. Same as Phase 1. The stars fall more intensely. Decaying Invasion. After a few seconds of channeling, Zello deals lethal damage to all players. If the Heart of the Ancestral Tree is activated before that, a protective shield will be triggered. Entering the shield can evade damage, but the shield will only refresh 3 times. If Zello manages to evade the strikes, and performs the 4th Decaying Invasion before you can defeat them, the entire dungeon will fail. Focus your firepower and defeat Zello as quickly as possible. The 4th Decaying Invasion is expected to trigger around 20 seconds before Zello enters a berserk state. Keep this in mind. Battle Focus. Each team should consist of 1 tank, 3 DPS, and 1 healer. Forming teams beforehand will help you deal with the decaying monstrosity once entering the inner field. After the teleportation circle in the inner field refreshes, please ensure that no teammate is immobilized by Root Entangle. A lack of DPS may prevent you from defeating the decaying monstrosity. Once the entry order is confirmed, the incoming team should reserve burst skills for killing the decaying monstrosity. Watch out for Zello's damage skills, as reaching 100% decay points will lead to instant death. This dungeon boasts a unique mechanic that splits the battlefield, and its crucial clearance conditions emerge halfway through. If you fail, you'll have to start from scratch, offering less room for error. Unlike previous bosses, where a well-planned strategy still presents a chance of victory during their berserk state, the chances of success against Zello are alarmingly low. Therefore, ensure you defeat Zello before they perform the 4th fatal blow. That concludes the walkthrough for this raid. Best wishes to all adventurers for successful loot runs, and please continue to follow us for more walkthrough analysis from Tarisland.